New York Knicks insider Ian Begley has recently given updates on key three Knicks players in Jalen Brunson, Julius Randle, and Mitchell Robinson and the injuries that they are rehabbing, and we have to talk about it. So what's up, guys? Welcome back to Knicks Digest. It's Chris here. Thank you. There is finally some Knicks news to talk about, as Ian Begley did one of his many mailbags, and he talked a lot about the three different main injuries that the New York Knicks are dealing with in Jalen Brunson's broken hand, Julius Randle's dislocated shoulder, and Mitchell Robinson's foot stress injury. All three of those required surgery. It ended all their seasons, all given Brunson. That was a 1 quarter left of basketball for the year. But effectively, they all went into the summer needing surgeries or rehabbing surgeries. In the case of Julius Randle, he had surgery a bit before, but also a dislocated shoulder is the longest term injury when you need surgery out of those three. And let's jump right in and talk about what Begley had to say on this. Because as Ian Begley mentions, it seems to him like Jalen Brunson will be ready for training camp. He had surgery in mid-May to repair a broken left hand. During the celebration of becoming the captain last week, Brunson didn't have any visible restrictions on his left hand. At one point during the proceedings, Alan Hahn even asked Brunson to give the crowd a thumbs up to show his hand was in good shape, and he even said, everything's good, everything's good. Brunson also added that his hand injury had been the only thing that was on his mind since the summer started. Obviously, we know Jalen Brunson's an insane competitor. We know that when he is not fully healthy, he tries to more than less ignore it. This is not an injury you could ignore. He's doing everything to rehab that. We saw recent photos of Brunson in the gym working out. He looks like he's probably just having a regular offseason at this point. A hand surgery is not something that's going to ruin your entire offseason. It's not going to be an entire offseason on rehabbing that hand. It's definitely going to be part of it throughout the entirety of that, including into training camp, because he is the New York Knicks captain. He's the best player on the team. He's arguably the best American basketball player on the planet right now. He is a guy who is on that fringe mark of being the best player on a championship team. His bobblehead can clearly hold the ball with his left hand already, which is obviously a great sign. Also, shout out to the MSG people for getting the dominant hand correct. But we all know he's one of the two lucky lefties in New York. And with Brunson, you know you need him. He obviously is the engine that makes the team go. It's not the most severe injury, but it is nice and very reassuring to hear that he's doing well. Last season, Brunson put up nearly 29 points per game with 7 assists. Also got a steal per game, shot 48% from the field and 40% from three while shooting 46% on corner threes. His three-point, the amount of shots that he takes that are threes is going up, with 32% of his shots being threes. He attacks the hole. He's a full three-level scorer. He's one of the most dangerous basketball players on the planet right now. The man can create his own shots with only 58% of his threes being assisted. Jalen Brunson does it all offensively. We all know that. We're all Knicks fans. We understand that to be the case. It's not shocking. I think he's going to have even more spacing with the addition of Mikal Bridges. Getting the full Nova Knicks team together, I think, will help him. And I also think it'll help Julius Randle, who Ian Begley also covered. So let's take a look at that. Because Begley said that Randle's rehab from right shoulder surgery is going very well, or at least was earlier in the summer. He underwent surgery in early April. The Knicks at the time said he'd be reevaluated in September, so there's still 2 weeks to go before the reevaluation even. Based on other timelines for shoulder surgery, it would be surprising if Randle were ready for the start of training camp, but if everything progresses well, he should be back on the court for the Knicks on October 22nd, the opening day where the New York Knicks will head to Boston to play the defending champions, Boston Celtics. Obviously, it would be huge to have Julius Randle in that game. He is the X factor for New York Knicks versus the Boston Celtics. They're the two best teams in the Eastern Conference, and Randle becomes that X factor because there's not too many people on the floor who can guard the man at all. So I do truly think that Julius Randle is probably going to get healthy sooner rather than later. But also, if he has another slow start, like last year because he was rehabbing a different surgery, don't jump on the Randle sucks bandwagon again. Yeah, he played bad for 7 games last season and then went on the run of his life, having the best season of his career that unfortunately got derailed early by injury. Julius Randle has honestly never looked better than what happened in January when we saw him have the most spacing of his career, and now that spacing's increased again. I think Randle's in for a massive season. I think we are going to see the best season of his career as he bounces back from shoulder surgery, being as hungry as ever, and for the first time in his career, knowing that he's playing on a genuine NBA Finals contender. I think it's going to be very good for Randle, though I could actually see his points going down a tiny bit. As we may know, as some of you may know, last season, before the injury, Julius put up 24 points per game, 9.2 rebounds, 5 assists, shot 47% from the field, 31% from three. All those numbers, points, rebounds, assists, field goal percentage, three-point percentage, all of that started to go up once Julius Randle just continued to play throughout the year. These numbers are kind of hindered by the fact that he had one of the worst starts in NBA history last season until, I believe it was November 5th. He got it back together and then was all good. Obviously, a phenomenal corner three shooter in the rare time that he ever shoots them, and only 29% of his shots are threes. That is going down, and we love that. Julius is not there to hit threes. I mean, he shoots 31%, and the Knicks have a team with, I believe, 7 guys who shoot over 37% from three. Randle's there to attack the paint, force one-on-ones at the hole. That's where he's at his best. He can kick it out to a myriad of Jalen Brunson, Dante DiVincenzo, OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges, Josh Hart, who, if he could shoot like he did in the playoffs, and he's been working with his shooting coach extensively over the past week and a half or so. There is so much to like about Julius Randle's game, and I think we're going to see the best version of him coming into next season. And let's just jump right in to the Mitchell Robinson news on top of it, because according to Begley, Mitchell Robinson is also rehabbing a surgically repaired injury this offseason. Robinson had surgery in mid-May to repair a stress injury to his left ankle, something that also happened in December, which we do have to be wary of. As of earlier this week, Robinson was not cleared for high-intensity weight-bearing activities during his rehab, but also we know that Mitch, once that happens, he'll get back into it. But as of right now, Robinson has to clear several hurdles before he gets clearance to fully participate in training camp. And Mitchell Robinson, he put up 5.6 points per game, 8 rebounds, and shot 57% from the field. Obviously, the free throw shooting is the big fear there. He shoots 36% from the line. His field goal percentage has consistently gone down every year, but 1 block per game, which would be more like 2.5. But people don't challenge Mitch at the rim, and he's become a 5-tool defender. He's also a phenomenal, he's phenomenal at getting steals. You can't really throw passes into the pocket with Mitchell Robinson. You can't really give him an entry pass. Mitch is going to steal it. He's going to get around it. He's going to get to the ball, whether it's off the bounce or up in the air. Mitch is going to really give you hell trying to throw an entry pass. We know how phenomenal Mitchell Robinson is. He's the best offensive rebounder in the NBA. And once he gets back on the court, we're going to see how great this Knicks defense is with 3 guys who are defensive player of the year caliber players in Mitch, in Mikal, in OG Anunoby. All of them on any given year can make the all-defensive team. I do think that Mikal Bridges certainly will. I think that OG and Mitch, knowing their histories, it's hard to imagine they each play 65 games this year. So we're not going to see 3 different Knicks on the all-defensive team unless they stay weirdly healthy, which would obviously be phenomenal. It's just hard to believe in either of them playing over 65 games. Or it's not hard to believe. It's hard to bet on it happening. One would have to assume that Mitch plays somewhere around the 55-game mark and OG around the 60. And you know what? If they're healthy in the playoffs, I'm cool with it. I don't care. I just want to be healthy in the playoffs. That's what matters most for a contending team like the New York Knicks. Things look differently now. They're now contenders. If they're going to miss a few games due to injury and not be on the all-defensive team list, that's not what we're playing for at this point. This is an NBA Finals caliber team. They're going to need all 3 of these guys healthy to win, especially when you look at how valuable they all are in their own ways, whether it's Jalen Brunson being the best player on the team, being an NBA superstar, whether it's Julius Randle being the other all-star on the team, being the other scoring option, being the other isolation threat, or if it's Mitchell Robinson, the real one center on the roster as of right now. Precious will back him up for a bit, and Ian Begley actually talked about Precious Achiuwa a little bit, and we're going to do a video on that breaking down what this could mean and what the future holds with Precious and the New York Knicks very soon. That'll probably come out tomorrow. This is coming out right after the live stream. I'm actually filming this directly before I go live. It is going to drop right after the live stream ends, so you guys will have more Knicks to tune in for. You'll have to look at this face, but you can just go like this, shut your eyes, look away. Do it while you're watching or like playing a video game or while you're making dinner or something, when you're bored, you're just like, I need something to look at or something to hear, jog the mind. You know how it goes. But guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like, subscribe if you're feeling crazy. Turn on post notifications if you're really feeling crazy. But definitely leave a comment down below. I'll be sure to get back to you guys. I'd love the discourse in the comments. Have a great day, guys. Go Knicks.